Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another Tech Time Tuesday with the Canton County Public Library. My name is Mr. Brandon, and today we're going to be talking about consumer reports. So let's go ahead and get started. The very first thing that we'll need to do is bring up the library's website, which for those of you unfamiliar is kentonlibrary.org. Then what we can go ahead and do is look for the Research and Learning tab at the top part of the page and go ahead and click on it. The next step will be coming down here to the green business section. The third option within the business section is labeled Consumer Reports, and that's what we're here for. Now, while this is loading, if you are accessing consumer reports from your home via a laptop or a mobile device, there is an extra step and it will ask you for your library card number and your PIN number. So it's good to have those handy. If you're not sure what your PIN number is, you can always contact a member of the library staff and we can walk you through resetting that. But right now, let's go ahead and get started in consumer reports. So with this, homepage, you'll notice that things kind of will rearrange themselves from time to time. Currently, there's an article about parents fighting poor furniture design, but those articles will change, and you'll notice some other articles pop up depending on what time of the year it is. So closer to Black Friday or Labor Day, as we just experienced, you'll see articles relating to that. Currently, what I want to talk to everyone about is the home page, and we're going to scroll down. You'll notice that they right off the bat select different products that are the most popular to kind of display prominently. So we'll see air purifiers, computers, toothbrushes, generators, TVs, SUVs, tires, and all sorts of other things. If we scroll down a little bit farther, you'll notice that there is a small section about the coronavirus. If we scroll down even farther, we can see individual recommendations. This is obviously going to change. You can edit the recommendations right here using the handily labeled Edit Recommendations button. But for now, let's go up and let's start to look at some of the options that we have available to us. The very first option up at the top part of the page is under product reviews. That will kind of categorize all of the typical things that you would want to get reviews for. So if we go to top products, these are kind of the most common things that folks go to consumer reports for. So appliances, kid items, cars, electronics, health items, home and garden, and money. So for this, it also breaks them down into smaller categories. So we still have the most common categories right here. But if you are wanting to look at a more detailed list, all you have to do is hit the All Products A to Z option. This will alphabetize the entire list of items that you can look at. So as you can see, this list is pretty expansive. I have to scroll several times to get all the way down to the bottom of this list. Right now, what we're going to focus on is we are going to pretend that we are buying a snowblower. So right now, news is not going to be useful for what we're searching for because it's still a little early to be worried about snow. But you will notice some other articles talking about rear seat safety, different cars that are coming out, more coronavirus safety is because that's always good. The next tab on the top, you'll notice will say issues that matter. That is another part that will change typically quite often because the issues that are currently mattering to us will change. So right now there's a lot of car safety, coronavirus, data privacy is always an important issue, food safety, those are all important issues, but occasionally you will see that list change. We're not going to talk too heavily about the About Us tab because that just kind of gives you a brief history of consumer reports and what they do and how you can get a hold of them and things like that, but we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on that today. what I want to spend the most time on is product reviews, as that's primarily what Consumer Reports is used for. So what we are going to do is, like I said earlier, we are going to pretend that we are shopping for a snowblower. Now, we're going to go to product reviews up in the top left, and then snowblowers are going to be under home and garden down here. So we are going to select that. You'll notice that home and garden kind of gives us a healthy spread of items. So we have mattresses, sheets, pillows, home security systems, and generators. We are looking for snowblowers, so we don't necessarily need any of these 5 items, but we don't want to go to all products A to Z because that's a lot to process and it's difficult to look at. What we are going to do is come down here to the most common categories and look for it there. So obviously you don't need a snowblower in your bed and bath. Home improvement does not have snowblowers. We obviously don't need it in a kitchen. Lawn and garden is a good guess, but snowblowers are actually listed under tools and power equipment. So you'll notice snowblowers are right here towards the bottom of the list. So we are going to go ahead and select that. And you'll notice right off the bat, it will categorize snowblowers into the most popular categories. So depending on the amount of snow that you would be dealing with, obviously someone in Georgia or Florida does not need to be as concerned with heavy, thick snow as someone in, let's say, Montana or New York or Maine. So what we're going to look at is something that would be appropriate for us here in Kentucky. So we're going to look for a medium snowblower. So you'll notice that there are 3 different types of single stage snowblowers listed. So we have a single stage battery operated snowblower, and then we have a single stage electric snowblower and a single stage gas snowblower. The difference between those is the electric snowblowers, you would obviously have a cord involved. The battery operated ones would be similar to a battery that you would plug into a drill or a power tool. And then the gas snowblowers obviously have their own onboard engine. So for this, we are going to go to the battery operated section. Now, opening this up, you will notice that we can already see the scores and the grades for the items that Consumer Reports has tested. Now, it sorts them first by overall score. So if we kind of look at this big green bubble over here on the right-hand side, you'll notice that the top snowblower in the battery operated category only has a 66. And it goes down from there, all the way down to a 28 for the Greenworks 2600. Now, what you can do is browse these items and it will break the grade down into the 4 primary categories. So for snowblowers, that would be predicted reliability, removal speed, plow pile removal, and throwing distance. Obviously, this would change for different items. So let's say if we were looking at a car or something else, those primary categories would change. So for this, what we can do is go ahead and look at the snowblowers, and let's say we don't want anything below a 50. So we would be primarily looking at these top 3 items right here. What you can do is if you want to closer compare your options, let's say if I want to compare the Snow Joe and the Toro, I can select these 2, and you'll notice up on the top, it will create a little compare list with 2 overlapping circles. If I click on this, it will show me a list of what I have to compare, and then I can hit view. Now what it gives me is a more detailed breakdown of their overall scores and some more details. So we can see that the removal speed is the same, however the throwing distance is a little bit better on the Toro snowblower. And it also, the Snow Joe has a little bit better controls than the Toro. And then it goes on to list different voltage and things of that nature. If we come back up, we can add another model, let's say from a different category. So if I want to go to the gas snowblowers, you'll notice that again, it sorts them by their primary grade first. I can add that to my compare list and then go back to it and hit view. Now I have 3 items and I can see all the corresponding scores. Obviously, for comparing electric and gas, it does not list the same function. So for our battery operated items, it's listing a volt number. And then for the gas engine, it's listing a CC value, which is fine. Consumer Reports is free to use, so I want to encourage everyone to take a look at this, whether they're in the library or at home, because it can save you a lot of money and it will give you very good resources. The car listings are incredibly accurate, so if we go to product reviews and then cars, you can break it down into the different categories, so SUVs, small cars, hybrids, so on and so forth. And there are also different articles that you can read, including how to know when to buy a car, maintenance, and then different times that are best to buy a car, and then the best and worst categories. Those are always handy to look through. As always, thank you for joining us for our Tech Tuesday. If you have any questions, please feel free to visit kentonlibrary.org/stream, and we can make you an appointment to go into further details and answer any questions you may have. Or you can give us a call at 859-962-4331. Join us next week when we'll be taking a look at the Covington ArtBot. Thank you and have a nice day.